I hope you don't go to sleep.
Is Gayle comfortable there?
Yeah,
Looks
hey.
like she's looking a little rigid.
Do you want a massage or something, Gayle?
Yeah, Gayle.
Nice and relaxed.
I know that's sort of that thing that's almost pokey into me. To find a little uncomfortable, Gayle.
No, I'm a fussy eater.
Yeah. Yes.
Well, Matthew
she's
is
quite an appetite, isn't she? Yeah.
Can you tell the listeners Matthew as a young fella, because he's quite a fussy eater now with like things like mashed potatoes and peas. Has he always been like that?
Always. Yeah, he used to throw the peas under the table and wipe his hands on the tablecloth. And
The cat had eat the peas.
peas, yeah.
Oh, really? The
So
cat's like peas.
even as a baby, when you used to puree the veggies, he wouldn't eat them.
Wow, such a fussy child.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I took him to the doctor because I thought he was going to starve. And the doctor said if he had peanut butter sandwiches or Vegemite sandwiches and a bit of fruit, he'd be fine.
But then I didn't like sandwiches either.
No,
I used to take them
he
to
didn't
school. I
like
used to
bread.
throw them out.
What you used to throw? What do you eat for lunch then?
Oh, it's a packet of potato crisps.
Bit of fruit.
You know what's exciting about this experience right now, right? We got Gary Johns, we got Gayle Johns, we got Matthew Johns, we got Cooper Johns, Jack Johns in the corner. We have in this room right now. There's 3 generations of Johnses.
Yep.
And I think that's pretty special, don't you think, Gaz?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Are you excited to be a
I
part
am.
of this experience?
It's very good that we still all speak.
Oh,
Yeah, we have our moments.
yeah.
Where's Happy? Where's Joey? Where's he?
He's flying in from Java today.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
He's had a terrible
He
experience.
has.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's been to the G spot.
You know a thing or two about that, don't you, Gaz?
Yeah, he knows where the male G spot is. Old double handsy.
I think it was G-Land, but
Yeah, he was saying about the monkeys were getting up on him, working as like one was doing diversion, others were going around. Just because you're paranoid doesn't mean they're not after you.
Has Joey always been like that from a child? A little bit, I wouldn't say paranoid, but thinking like that? Like, has the monkeys always been after him?
no. When he was really young, Matt was really quiet. But we worked out Matt had a bit of a hearing problem. He didn't hear people.
Oh, no way.
So what was that going?
So when people would speak to him, I'd have to say hello back. But Andrew was out there, like he was just so wild. All the boys that played football that Gary coached used to call him Mad Dog.
Oh, like McDougal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Except he's not worth $1 billion.
No.
No, not after the divorces anymore.
Yeah.
No.
No, definitely not.
Might have been.
He puts
if
it down to charity.
Yeah. But, so he was always a bit wild, but not as injury prone or
No.
as what he is now.
Oh, mate, every time do we go, it's like you get there. Mate, Andrew was good at everything, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Pick up a surfboard. And,
Yeah.
remember the time you bought us our first bikes?
Oh, that was hilarious. what were they called then? Not BMX,
Yeah,
were they?
BMX.
Yeah,
BMX
Joey had a BMX and I had a dragster.
Yeah. So Joey was probably 5 or 6. And we went to the bike shop to pick him up. We paid for him. And he took off down the street. Matt couldn't sit on it. He couldn't balance it. So I ran all the way home, hanging onto the seat so Matthew wouldn't crash.
Even back then, I was a catastrophist. I always thought the worst is going to happen. And invariably it did.
Yeah.
Well, Joe kept hitting the back of your bike with his wheel to try and knock you off it anyhow.
Yes.
And that's been a message. That's a pretty good message of their relationship, how it's been. Always been quite testy, these two. Did they used to fight growing up a bit as well?
Oh, all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, constantly. Especially if I got on the phone, they'd have a punch-up. Because in those days, you didn't have phones you could walk around with. You had to sit and speak on them.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so they'd go into another room and start punching on.
So I was at the pit one night when I got home from work. Gail said, "Oh, we've had a night tonight. What's happened?" She said, "All that wallpaper you put in Joey and Matt's room, Joey's pulled it off the wall." And I said, "Yeah, how did that happen?" She said, "Well, he was playing up, so I hit him with a feather duster, and he's took the feather duster off. He's broken into about 8 pieces.
Oh,
Then he's
sounds
done
like
his block and gone into the bedroom and pulled all that wallpaper off the wall."
It was nice wallpaper too.
Yeah. We remember another time you just went out. Remember you bought that new lounge and just we just started
yeah.
to burn. And then we when they come home and the lounge had busted, we'd having a stink, and I fell on the lounge and went straight through it. Of course, when they got home, they said, "What happened?" I said, "Oh, bloody Andrew, mate, I watched these. He just got a massive flog on the floor."
We were talking the other day, guys, about you having we had memories of you having some sort of ostrich egg underneath your bed?
Emu egg.
Emu egg. Where'd you get, what was that emu egg?
Well, I had a good mate called Peter Crawley, and he from Coonabarabran, and we went up there one time to visit him, and we were going somewhere in the car, Pete, and there's emus in the paddock. So Pete said to me, "You watch this." So we get out the car, Pete climbs through the fence, and he lays on his back and he starts kicking his legs like he's riding a bike. And I said, "What are you doing?" And he said, "Emus are really inquisitive. They'll come over." And he, sure enough, those emus come up and they're stood there watching him while he's laying on his back riding the bike. Anyway, he said, "There'll be a nest around here somewhere." So we went and looked and we found this emu's egg. And he said, "You want one?" I said, "Yeah, I'll take it home." So I took it home.
And then what,
never hatched.
So why were you wanting it to hatch, or were you going to eat it for breakfast?
I don't know what I was going to do with it, Coop, actually.
Where is it now?
I don't know.
Maybe it did hatch.
Well,
Joey was in it.
They did warn us not to break it because you'd never get the smell out of the house. It was such a bad smell.
They stink.
And you've had some smells in the house, let's face it. Remember the dog Beefer? Just used to shit everywhere.
Poor Beefer. What about at the football that time?
Oh.
Someone said, "Look at that dog on the field," and it was Beefer. Yeah. And he had worms, and someone scored a try, and he was wiping his bum on their boots.
On their boot. As I said, he used to just drag his ass, like literally, Cessno's car, it's a full house. All of a sudden you hear this hysterical laughter. There's a dog on the field zipping around. It was Beefer. Got out, ran over the football ground and... Yeah,
and he was dragging his bottom across the field.
Beefer was for bastard. That's how he got his name.
Is that how he got his name?
Yeah.
I want to ask you how you got to Matty and Joey and Kate's names, but how did you two meet to start off? Because I don't know if I've ever really heard the story.
Well, I was at the karate club dance run by Gary Sullivan.
Oh, Gaz.
Yeah, and it was a Friday night. No, I was about 15, I think. And I was sitting, it was a hall in Curry, and all the seats were around the wall. So I was sitting there with a good mate of mine, Jeff Roach from Curry. In walks your grandma, little mini skirt, little brown bandy legs.
And what were you thinking then?
And I thought, Jesus Christ, where's she come from? What a good sort.
Now, my version of the story is a girl I work with come from Curry, and I said to her, "That Gary Johns is a good sort." And she said, "He lives up the road from me." And she said, "Come down to the karate dance day at my place." So I wasn't allowed to go to dances or anything, so I told Mum a lie, and I went down there. We went to the dance. So she introduced me to Gary, but it was the wrong one. There was another Gary Johns lived at Western.
No way.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Oh, was he a good sort?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
But I wasn't.
You were too, Gaz.
Was he a good footballer?
No.
No, he's a soccer player.
So I must say, of all the things the karate dance. So you said Gary, of course, he was a relative of ours, played for Australia in rugby league. Yeah. And was Australian champion karate, was it?
He was Australian champion. Karate champion, yeah.
And also spent how many years in the... He was a bank robber too, wasn't
he? He was a bank robber. He got... I'm
not sure how long.
About 14 years, I think.
In jail.
Then he escaped. He escaped from Brisbane, and they found him in Adelaide. Yeah. He's still alive, Gary, but he's battling bad health.
How did he escape from jail?
I don't know.
Boggo Road. He got into Boggo Road.
Boggo Road. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know the story about that. All I know is he went to Adelaide, or somehow got to Adelaide, and he went into a chemist. And he had no money to buy any perfumes like Underarm or soap or anything, so he stole them. Anyway, they
called the police.
They called the police, and they got him. And when he wouldn't tell them his name, so they run fingerprints and that on him, and they found out that he was an escaped prisoner.
Yeah. No way.
So he played for Newtown, played the Newtown Jets with his brother Robbie.
He's my brother-in-law.
And in that same team was the Dawson twins too, teacher's pet.
And Chris Hayward.
Yeah.
Paul
Haywood, who's Bailey's He was his grandfather.
Bailey, Jesus, there's a lot
And
of
Bailey.
follow that.
With Gary Sullivan, did you ever, like, because you're a lot younger than him, did you ever see him have a stoush?
Yeah, I did many times. But one I remember, we're down the hamburger shop after the dance on the Friday night. Gary had a security business. He used to ride around this Boris Cooper S. So there was trouble at the pub, and the Bramble boys from Maitland were there, 3 of them. They were big blokes, about 6'5", and they were causing trouble. So they called the coppers, and Russell Cook was the sergeant. So he comes over and he wanted nothing to do with it. So he rings Cessnock Police Station, because there were no mobiles in them days. They said, see if you can find Gary Sullivan. He's working up there tonight doing security. So they found him, told him he's wanted in Curry. Russell Cook needs a hand, so back he comes. Well, we heard what was going on. Jews got around the town pretty quickly. Anyway, Gary pulls up, and the Bramble boys by this stage were down at the hamburger shop, and we were all standing outside. So Gary gets out of the Cooper S and he kicks the bikes over. Next minute, the boys come out, and there was a blue one. Gary flattened the 3 of them. Russell Cook was sitting in the cop car across the road. And when it was all over, they couldn't get up. Russell Cook gets out of his car, walks over and said, righto, you kids, get home.
Yeah. Well, I don't know how we got there, but back to you guys, how you met. So you'd been introduced to the wrong Gary. How did it come about where you two came face to face and then eventually horizontal? Like not the details of that, but how did you?
Well,
Eventually it was horizontal.
Well, you'd hope so.
Kay Dunker.
From my memory, it was all more like that.
Kay Dunker introduced us, and and then
I asked you for a dance.
yeah, and he was such a good dancer.
It was the last dance of the night, so it was pride of error, wasn't it?
God knows what it was. But anyhow, we started going out together then.
Yeah, right. And when you say dancing, back then it's like I'm visualizing like Back to the Future when you're kind of slow dancing. Is that what you did?
Yeah, the last dance was that.
The last dance was always a slow dance.
And did you share a kiss?
Not then.
Not first up.
No.
I'd never kissed a girl before,
Oh,
so I didn't know what to do.
And what was
So I used to practice on the mirror.
Did you?
And your goat, remember the goat?
Yeah, because I used to practice on the I'd put my thumb and my index finger together, and I'd make the shape of a mouth, and I'd practice that way.
Yeah.
How do you have memories of the first kiss? What was he like as a kisser, girl?
No idea. Can't remember.
Yeah, I couldn't stop you giggling.
I used to laugh when I got nervous.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So and this is interesting. How old were you then? Was that 14, 15?
15.
15.
Oh,
Yeah.
geez, and you've gone the distance.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're married 54 years and 55 years in February.
Yeah.
How old were you guys when you had me?
20.
Was it 20?
19.
Yeah, we got
19.
married at 19.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Well, back.
Yeah, I was still an apprentice boilermaker when we got married, and when you were born, I was still an apprentice boilermaker, BHP. So we had no money at all. I had no bank account. I had nothing.
Back in those days, it's very traditional, right? You got to get married young. Did you and back then? Do you have to save that you don't have intercourse until marriage?
Well, that was
Well,
the
we
rules.
did have to get married young. Yeah.
So put it this way, I was at the wedding.
Yeah.
Oh, you were there.
Yes.
Within the timing.
Yes,
Did
yeah.
you lie? Okay, do you have to lie back then? Did you lie? I suppose to parents and stuff that you were pregnant.
No, Mum. I think my mum guessed, and so then we just had to get married. There was no. Someone said, "How did Gary propose?" And I said to him, "I'm pregnant." And he went, "Jesus, really?" Yeah.
And how quickly after that do you get married? Like, is it a couple of weeks? Because you don't want to be showing at the wedding,
probably
right?
a month. Yeah.
A month?
Yeah.
Yeah. We got married 6th of February. Matt was born 27th of July.
Holy smokes!
So Gail had to ring. Gail's father lived in Queensland, and Gail lived with her mum and her grandma, and she had to ring her dad to tell him she was pregnant. And he said, "How the fuck did that happen?"
And you went, well, let me start at the beginning.
Just on that, Cooper asked me the other day, he goes our sense of humour, our warped sense of humour, he said, where does that come from? And I thought, mate, it's Poppy Ken.
Yeah.
Ken, Trish's,
Gale's
Gale's father mate, he was a
He was a funny bloke.
Was he a funny
mate,
bastard?
fucking funny.
Really? What was he?
Yeah.
Charismatic.
He was multi-millionaire.
He was impressed with himself. Like
Yeah.
last time we went,
So he's dad.
so the boys played the Gold Coast, and we went and stayed with Dad. And after the game, it was the worst night of my life. I was sitting with him. Every woman that went past, hey, Gugs, get a look at her. Oh, God, she's not a bad sort. And I was thinking, oh, God, it's terrible. In the end, he was hitting on women. And so I'm sitting on my own, and Gary came in and said, why are you sitting here on your own? I said, because I can't sit with him any longer. Like, it's just embarrassing.
And he was cheering for the Gold Coast too,
Yeah,
wasn't he?
and him and I had a fight, and he kept saying, it's not over till the fat lady sings, but I think she's warming up now. And,
But I remember he used to drive. I remember being a very young kid, and he would because June, mum's mum, my grandmother, and of course Gayle's mum, she was an angel. You got no idea. Like, she was an angel. And so what Poppy Ken used to do, once or twice a year, him and his new wife used to hop in his sports car, drive all the way down to Cessnock, and just live there for about 2 or 3 weeks.
What, just live at the...
well, my mum never owned a house, so she lived with her mother-in-law, which is unusual. And so Dad would come down to see his mum, and Mum would be there, and he'd bring his girlfriend. Well, Grandma could not stand the girlfriend.
Yeah.
Because she gave us some sheets once as a present and said, oh, when you die, I'd like these back because I paid a lot of money for them. And Grandma said, well, don't wait till I die. Take them with you now.
Yeah, right.
What was the car you used to drive? Was it car RX-7 or something?
Yeah, that red, white, big stripes on it.
Yeah. Mate, he used to get up. Remember, I went with him. We're up at the Gold Coast at Broadbeach where he lived, near Dracula's. He goes, come on, let's go to the pub. So we go to the pub. Next minute, well, mate, the band's on, playing there. And he just goes, stop, yep, come on. Righto, boys, you know Mac the Knife? Righto, let's go. And 1, 2, and just got up and do about 2 or 3 songs on stage.
They'd have to nearly shoot him to get him off.
Well, that's very much like you. You love getting up on the karaoke mic. Gaz, are you much of a karaoke man?
No,
back
I
in the
can't
day?
sing that.
Gayle.
I do.
You love singing and dancing, don't you?
Yeah.
You love it. I remember
I've only got 4 songs, so I can do that.
Which are they, Gayle?
I'm a Believer, Twist and Shout. She was just 17. And
What? She was only she was only
she was just 17.
Who sings that?
The Beatles.
Which is saw her standing there.
Tell them the story about we're at the Rocks one night.
We went to the races and we're at the Rocks. So when we went back to the Fortunes of War, was it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We they had this band up playing all Beatles songs, so I got up with them. So the band didn't know if I was like a guest artist. Security didn't know who in the hell I was. So I sung about 4 songs. I kept saying, oh, do you know this? Yep. So then when we come and sat down, when I sat down, Gary went, I think we're in a bit of trouble. This bloke over here is staring at me all the time. Anyhow, I went, all right, just don't look at him. And he said, no, just keep staring. So the next thing he come round, anyhow, he had the worst stammer I've ever heard. So he's saying, I know you, but he took him 10 minutes to say it. And then I said to him, well, if we tell you who we are, will you leave us alone? And he said, yeah. So I said, oh, you know Matt and Andrew Johns? We're their parents. Let me buy you a drink. And how it's about $30 for a shout. I said, okay. So then the barmaid said, I've told you, no more drink for you, get out. And I said, oh, can you just buy us a drink before he goes? No, he's going straight out. So he stood at the door waving to us the rest of the night.
Oh God.
Jeez.
Yeah. Tell you who was there that night was Kerry Hemsley.
Oh, Buckets.
Yeah.
Kerry Hemsley, an old front row for Balmain Tigers.
Yeah.
Used to be a bikie as well. One of the great fellas, Kerry Hemsley. Yeah.
Well, they used to come up to Michael Sylvester's.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
He was.
Yeah.
Now, that's the question. When we first got a caravan, why did we go to Middle Rock Caravan Park, of course, which was a nudist beach?
Yeah.
What was the thinking there, Gaz?
We couldn't get out anywhere else,
It was
could
the
we?
only place we could get on.
Yeah.
The council had only released so many every year, so many parks, because they've got this rule that they've got to have provisions for people to travel.
Yep.
So that might have been 10% of the capacity of the park. So we couldn't get on at Fingal, where we wanted to go. So we had 2 years, 1 mile.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you have
Middle
to
Rock.
with caravan? Do you have to like buy a spot for 2 years? Like
you pay weekly rent.
you rent it every week.
Yeah.
So that one, because you eventually went to Fingal Bay Caravan Park, but the Middle Rock one, what was that? Complete nudist beach.
It was a nudist beach.
Yeah.
And did you guys buy into that culture?
No.
No.
Did we
I
ever get
remember a bloke servicing his car one day and he had no clothes on. He's leaning over the mudguard and all you could see was arsehole and balls.
But I remember the first day. So I remember Gaz puts he's put the caravan. We've parked the caravan, got the NX up. Right, and we at this point, me and Joey had no idea that it was a nudist beach. He goes, "Right, boys, what do you reckon? Let's go and have a swim." Well, it was about 500 metres over these sand dunes to get there, and we finally get over the last sand dune. I look over. And I'm going, fucking hell. It's like National Geographic. There's just tits and ass and dick and balls everywhere.
And how old are you? How old are you there?
I've been about 8 or 9.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember like scrotums. Blokes had fucking balls almost down to their knees.
Andrew reckons he's been scarred because there was a bloke worming and he was bent over and he had the belt on around. That's all he had on.
Yeah. Because you always think of a nudist beach, you think of like, young. Like supermodels and getting, it ain't nothing like that.
So what about, when we first bought the caravan, we put it in the yard. I put the annex up. We were working out what furniture we wanted and the beds for the boys and all that sort of stuff. Where we're going to put the esky, and we had no fridges and nothing. So this particular day, Gail said, "Where's the boys?" I said, "I don't know." She said, "Go and get them, lunch is ready." So I went out the yard, give a whistle, no one there. Where the hell are they? The back gate was shut. I went down and I could hear them talking in the caravan. When I walked in, they sitting at the table with a twist top or stubby and beer each. I said, "What the hell are you blokes doing?" They said, "We're practising going on holidays."
How old are they there?
9 and 7 or something.
Isn't there a story? Isn't there a story at the because you got heaps of caravan stories? Isn't there a yarn where one of the caravan neighbours had a kayak or something?
Yes.
Yes. He had a canoe.
I must have told that on Triple M. Yeah. I reckon 3 or 4 times every year on our show with the audience, and Nad breaks so I yell out, "Hey, Matty, tell us the kayak story."
Yeah. So this bloke was an old prick, he was. He ruined old bastard. All the kids would be playing cricket. They'd hit the tennis ball up against his caravan, he'd come out and take the ball off him. Oh. Or they'd be playing football and the ball would roll up and he'd take the ball off him. Anyway, I had that many blues with him. So Matthew wanted to go to the toilet. So he went out, he shit in his canoe.
Unbeknownst to us, of course.
The next morning about 6, I've asked for the blokes going fishing. He come out and all sorts of carry on. The dirty bastards. He's singing, "Hey, you in there, get out of here. What's going on?" He said, "One of your kids shit in my canoe."
And how did
I said, "Cut it out, mate." I said, "They wouldn't do that."
Our kids wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
How did he know it was human excrement?
Yeah.
I don't know.
What did he?
Probably had form. I used to shit under the. I get up in the middle of the night, come here, going up to the toilet, which is 100 metres. So I just do a shit under the tree.
I remember the old. You had to, because it was one of those caravan parks where you whack the thongs on, you get a towel, and you go and have the shower, and the toilet's up at the actual block altogether. Because I remember when Jack and I were young, and we'd always go up to Fingal Bay Caravan Park. Yeah. We'd be having showers. It was like my first exposed to a locker room, because there'd just be a bunch of old blokes in there, and you're just showering next to them in your thongs to save yourself from tinea.
Yep, that's right.
So what about the year we were looking after the boys? Matt and Joe and the girls went to Boxing Day races at Newcastle. We had all the boys there. So Samuel was only a little fella.
Yeah.
Joey's
son,
your age.
Yeah.
And you were playing up at the laundry block. Gail was up there doing some washing, weren't you? And they were running in one door and out the other, running around. All the kids were there playing. And next minute, Samuel goes missing. We couldn't find him. Anyway, he'd gone missing for about an hour, so I was absolutely, both of us off our heads. We couldn't find him, didn't know what was going on. So they put an announcement over the bike at the Caravan Park. So, but little boy's been lost, So anyway, a cousin of mine found him. And he'd gone into an annex, followed one of the kids home, gone into an annex. So we went up, they told us where it was, so we went up and got him. "You come with me." And as we're coming down the road, you're walking behind him, pushing him in the back, saying, you won't get any fucking lunch. You've been a naughty boy.
I was saying that.
Yeah.
And I'm the same age as him.
Yeah.
That was Boxing Day, so everyone in the street was out having a barbecue, having a beer outside their attics. And you're swearing, poor old Samuel, pushing him up the back of the head and saying, "You're a fucking naughty boy."
Some things never change.
There used to be some characters up there.
Yeah.
Like,
What about the day Joey got out of bed to shit under the tree?
No, that was Matt.
Was that you, Matt?
Again.
Yeah, and
Shit
poor
under
Shane,
the tree,
though.
kicked a bit of sand over it. Poor old Shane feeding across the road. Next day, he's climbed up the tree. When he jumped out, he jumped straight into shit. He got it all through his toes. And
Oh my! When you look back on, you had obviously Kate as well, but I imagine Matthew and Joey would have been the two hardest work or naughtiest. Who would have been the hardest to raise out of those two?
Oh, Joe.
Joey was.
Oh, he was very
Pig-headed.
and he couldn't handle discipline. If anyone tried to discipline him, he hated them. Teachers, coaches, football coaches, anyway.
But he wasn't frightened of anything. He'd do anything, wouldn't he?
yeah.
He wouldn't do anything. It was about a 10-foot surf there one day, and all the older guys were out in the water having the time of their life. And I had Kate, and I'd take her for a walk. And I walked up the headland to have a look, and here's Joe. He was about 8 or 9 years old.
No, he wouldn't have been that
on
old.
that green board. He wouldn't have been that old, would he?
What, even younger?
About 7.
He's out to surf. So this old guy was there, and I knew him. I said, "Excuse me, mate, would you take Kate back to the caravan, to Gayle?" He said, "I've got to go out. My young bloke's out in the water. Go and get him." So I swam all the way out there through the waves, got out there exhausted. And he said, "Hey, Dad, what are you doing out here?" I said, "Fucking get on the beach. What are you doing out here?"
Oh, so what was Matthew a lot easier then in that sense? Like to raise?
Different type
Yeah.
of hard
He
work.
used to sleep all day, so he had no trouble.
Really? Well, you were a big sleeper back then.
Well, Matt loved the cricket too, and that was on in the holidays. And he didn't like the surf because he used to get chafed.
Yeah.
So he'd go down, and he didn't want to get too dark. So he'd go down the beach, have a swim, go back up and watch cricket.
Yeah.
We had 38 years we had there at the park.
And who would, when we talk about, being young scallywags when they get into their teens, who was getting into more trouble then in the teenage years, like in terms of going out and drinking or maybe getting in trouble?
The boys didn't really get into trouble or go out drinking at that stage because they were both trying out for football. So they used to train on a Sunday. So train through the week, hardly ever went out.
No.
What about the night you got run in by the coppers? He's coming home from the workers club. With,
No.
Oh, yeah.
The
Got
pub.
whacked with a baton. Yeah.
Yeah.
The beat shit out of me. Yeah, that's right.
he was having a piss in the sawmill.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
you were having a piss in public? Or something?
I went and
That was-
I went to go back into the pub to do a piss, and they said, no, we've locked up, mate. So I'm walking, I've gone up and around. Next minute, cop car pulled up. He said, "What are you doing?" And I said, I'm just on the way home. I couldn't get to the pub to do a piss. Anyway, belted me with a baton, and then took me to the police station, fingerprinted me, and went to court. Didn't we? Had to go to court.
What was that? Why? Surely in Cessnock there's enough blokes urinating in public. That's the least of their issues.
Indecent exposure.
This copper was no good. I knew where he drank, so I went there one afternoon. I knew he was at work, and I went around and chatted him.
Yeah.
Yeah, told him what I thought of him.
And what did you think of him?
I just told him he was a fucking grub.
That'll do it. But things we used to do. Like I look back now, some of us, like at the time, I thought it was a little weird. But I look back at it now and I think, fucking, you guys must have been going, Jesus. Like I used to wear your bikini. Like I put Trish, I'd come out and I'd put Gayle's 2-piece bikini on, and I'd stand at the front of the house, and Mr. Whippy'd come past, and I'd wave Mr. Whippy down, and he'd be just looking at me, and I'd have these tight little bikinis on, and people would be driving past the front of the house, and I'd be just out the front and dressed in Mum's bikini.
And I thought he was hysterical. I used to laugh my head off at him. Encouraged him.
Well, I imagine that they would have stretched a lot of your clothes back in the day then as well.
Yeah.
Did they bring a lot of their mates around to the house?
Yeah. There was always
the house was
a
always
group.
full.
Yeah.
Who was it?
I was coaching at the time up there when the boys were growing up.
Yeah.
And there was always footballers at the house
Always.
after the game.
Yeah,
We'd all come have a drink at Johnsy's and
They'd sleep the night. And
Because when was it you when you were coaching, Gaz, and I believe your under 20s team or your A grade Cessnock Goannas team, they
The
actually
18s.
they stole you and took you to Mad Monday in the Gold Coast. Is that right? They abducted you?
No, not the Gold Coast, Catherine Hill Bay.
Yeah.
I was walking home with the papers and the milk. The bus pulls up, and they said, "Get in." I said, "Where you going?" They said, "Oh, we're going for a drink." So I said, "Oh, well, why not?"
And then they took you all the way to there.
I rang Gayle about 7 o'clock that night. I said, "How are you, love?" She said, "Where the hell are you?" I said, "I'm at Catherine Hill Bay at the pub."
Did he disappear much, Gayle?
Yep. Another time it was payday when they used to go and all get their pay from the year. And Gaz said, "I promise I'm only going over to get my money. I'll be back." Okay. We might take the kids for a picnic or something. Okay. Anyhow, never come home. And then the next thing I got a phone call from the hospital and they said Gaz has fallen out of the car and he's up at the hospital. We're getting all this metal out of his bottom. And I said, "Yeah, we'll just keep him up there. It's all right."
How'd you fall out of a car? I don't know.
I don't remember what happened, but all I remember is someone said to Norm Henderson, who owned the ute, it was Norm driving, Kenny Morris in the middle, and I'm on the outside. It was a single-seater ute. We're going down Aberdeen Road. We'd been drinking since like 8 o'clock in the morning. It was about 9 o'clock at night or something. And next minute the door flew open. I thought Grub pushed me, but I fell out. My arse just hit the road, and they reckon I went that high that I could see Nobby's beach. So the next day, Norm was working for Lifeguard Tyres, and apparently this bloke had been driving behind us, and he said, "Hey, Norm, something fell out the back of your ute last night." He said, "No, that was Johnsy."
What about the
I was a mess. You got no idea. I had no skin on my hands. It had tore my trousers off.
Oh,
Just shredded the skin was off my arm.
did it stop you drinking for a while?
Not till about Wednesday, I think.
Gaz would get on, Dad get on the sauce, and Mum would say, "Now listen, when he comes home, I'm going to lock the house. Mate, you don't let him in the house, right? Oh, he's going to bang on the door. He'll try everything, right?" Next minute we hear, "Boom, boom, boom. Gayle, dun, dun, dun. Gayle, Matthew." And I'm going, "Oh, Mum, I want to let him in." "Don't you let him in." Matthew, I'm not well." It went on. Anyway, I ended up just slooping out the front.
Is that why'd you do that? To learn his lesson?
Yeah. Oh, because he'd be drunk and stupid and wet the bed. And
Are you a bedwetter as well? Were you
Couple of times.
Is that stopped now, or is that
Well,
still?
Yes.
one day up the Caravan Park, we were playing cards. It was a wet day, so all the blokes got together. We're playing cards, and I think I drank 14 large bottles. But I was pretty pissed. I went to sleep on the bed. I don't know, were you still there?
Yeah.
Were you in the bed with me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, I woke up and I went, "Oh my God, I was floating." But I didn't do it once, I did it twice in one night.
No way.
So the next day, girls pulled all the sheets off and watched all the dinner, dragged the mattress. "What are you doing that for?" She said, "I'm putting it out to dry. We'll never sleep on it." So everyone was coming past us. "Kids went to bed, Gayle." "No, Gary did."
But you know, with mining up there, Coops and Jack, there was just an enormous drinking culture. I mean, and you know, went sort of through the family, like Herby, Uncle Herby, Herby Pearson.
Herby Pearson, what a legend, eh? Yeah. One day they used to drink. They used to go to Foster. All the miners at Cessnock, Curry, Abermain, Western, they'd all go to Foster for holidays.
Yeah.
So the culture was 2 o'clock. They'd head down the pub. They'd all come home for 2 to 7. So they'd have 5 hours of solid drinking. I'm talking about drinking half a dozen schooners an hour, you know, which is a fair bit of grog. One day Herbie drank 54.
Schooners.
He went down there at 2 o'clock and there was a dance on that night. So I forget his wife's name. Anyway, said all the other boys left about 5 because they were coming back to dance, and Herbie said, "No, I'll stay. Just tell such and such his wife to get dressed and come down. We'll go to the dance." So behind the barman every day used to mark every schooner Herbie had. He had 54 for the day.
And then went to the dance.
went to the dance.
And how'd he dance? I imagine it would have been hard to hold up.
Probably didn't dance.
Yeah.
You could hold his grog, honestly. You wouldn't even think he had a drink.
You reckon?
Because isn't there a story of how he drank them like a couple of blokes in there? Because he was renowned for how many schooners he could drink up that way.
A bloke put a challenge up to him.
Yeah.
He was a timber cutter from Karua. And he heard about Herbie's reputation as a drinker. So he come up there to Foster, waited for Herbie to come in, and he said, "I've got a challenge for you, mate. I heard you can drink, you know." He said, "I bet you can't drink 10 schooners in an hour." Herbie said, "Well, I'm not going to try now because I've been here all day." He said, "But I'll come back tomorrow. You be here tomorrow, we'll try it." So the boys used to go at 2. So Herbie left the tent at 12:30, and he's coming past our tent. He said, "The old man, I'm going a bit early today." Says, "Oh, geez, I'm not going early." He said, "No, I've got a couple of things to do." So instead of going to the RSL, he went to the pub. So he drank the 10 schooners an hour just to test himself. And he went up and he said, "Right," I said to the bloke, "Right, I'll take the challenge."
Oh, and then knocked it out.
Did a second
Holy
time.
smokes.
The next hour he done another 10.
So he went to the pub first of all just to see if he could do it.
See if he can do it. Yeah.
What an unbelievable. What's the most, and because Gayle used to pour schooners at a pub as well,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Did you ever have to pour schooners for Gaz?
Yep.
Yeah.
Like he'd come in, and were you giving him free schooners?
No.
No, you'd always charge him?
No.
What's the most amount of schooners you reckon you ever had at a pub?
When I turned 21, I had 21 schooners.
Oh,
But I hardly ever used to drink then. I was a mess. God, I was a mess.
when you drink?
Yeah, that particular day.
Yeah. And he actually borrowed someone's motorbike, new motorbike, and fell off it, fell onto a car,
Crashed into a
smashed the
car.
motorbike.
Because you were renowned as well. I remember all the stories that Dad would tell us growing up, and you would tell us from time to time about you were a local enforcer around town up in Cessnock.
I don't know about that.
There'd be a couple of times.
There was a lot of blokes that wouldn't show respect to the older people.
I remember when we had lunch up there with Bog, one of my friends, when we went up the Hunter Valley with your mate Sterney, who looked after us up the Hunter Valley with the bus charter. You were telling him a story about how your old trick was, if somebody was disrespectful, you'd go and wait in the toilets, and not in like a romantic way. You'd go in there, and then when they'd come, that's where you'd give them a bit of a stern talking to. Is that right?
Well, yeah, it happened once at Pudens. I had a good old mate, Tiddler Billington, and I used to work in the mines with him. And he always wore a pork pie hat, felt pork pie hat, and he always dressed immaculately. Never ever got married, and lived on his own. Anyway, this bloke kept knocking his hat off, this young bloke. I'd pick it up, give it back to Tiddler. And I said, "Mate, cut it out, leave him alone." And he kept doing it. So I said, "Oh, righto, so I'll fix you." So I went out the toilet. I knew he'd have to have a leak shortly.
Well, you'd have to.
So I just went and sat on the pan and left the door open a little bit, wait for him to come in, and then he comes. Gaz
said to because the bloke ended up telling some of my mates, "Oh, mate, this is what happened," you know, and he said, "When I walked in the toilet," he said, "Gary just came out of the toilet and goes, 'Surprise!'"
Because remember when us three went to the Aussie not long ago, the pub up there, one of the pubs, and there was a bloke who came over and said g'day, and you introduced me to him, and you said, "Oh, that used to be Matt's under 10s coach."
Oh, yeah, Mark Barber.
Mark Barber.
Oh, yeah.
And then there was a bit of a time when he give Matt a spray in under 10s, and you give him a little bit of a job.
Yeah, he said to Gaz, "Your son's a big head." So Gaz, the next morning, I remember getting to the game, and I'm looking, and Mark Barber's got like an eye that was shut, and he was like, wouldn't look at me, and the assistant coach is going, "Oh, you all right?" And he goes, "Yeah, I shouldn't have said it." He goes, "No, you fucking shouldn't have said it, right?" And I'm going, "What's going on here?" And then someone said, "Yeah, your old man beat up the coach." Well, at the time, the guy, Joey played hooker for a while one year.
Yeah.
He played hooker.
Yeah.
Anyway, this opposition coach told his player, when you pack into scrum, just kick Andrew Johns as hard as you can every time in the shins.
I ran into it, and Andrew kicked him back.
Yeah.
And I chipped him, and I said, "What are you doing that for? That's not. You don't do that. Play football, not at your age anyway." And he said, "The other bloke was kicking me." I found out that the coach told him to do it on purpose, and I thought, "Oh, I'll fix this. He won't be doing it again."
Would you go and kick him in the shins?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah.
Some of the stuff, mate. Do you remember, like, I look back now, it's almost like sitcom stuff. Because everyone up at the Caravan now street, everyone was like big drinkers and quite raucous. And all of a sudden, these born-again Christians moved into the van next to us. Remember that?
Yeah.
And I'm talking hardcore Christians.
Yeah.
That alcohol was the devil's thing. Mate, rock and roll music is like Satan's. If you listen to rock and roll music, it'll ruin your mind, land up in hell.
Alice Cooper, remember we were watching Rage, and she chipped me about the kids watching that. She said, "Don't let that into your house. You're letting the devil in."
Alice Cooper.
Yeah.
What
So
did
then
Alice Cooper ever do?
Nah. Well, he used to dress up like the devil, didn't he? Running around.
Yeah.
But I remember once we got there once and we got quite belligerent. She had chipped us about something. Right, you don't listen to that music. And I said, fuck, I'll fix her. So I went and got this ghetto blaster and put JJ Cale's Cocaine on. Put it, and she was so beside us.
Well, what about, we had a party there one night and Sludge was telling jokes and they packed up the next day and they never come back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I was thinking, oh no, she's going to be filthy about this. But remember when we went to Butt-Eye Barn or something
for New Year's Eve.
Yeah, and they had extra Rose tattoo on.
That's right.
And they played Cocaine.
They did, yeah.
And she went and got in the bus and they said, come on, everyone's got to leave because they want to go home.
Yeah.
She said, that's wrong, that music. You know, got to get.
We're
the
all
kids.
dancing, having a great time sitting on the bus.
What about, because being the parents of NRL players can be tough. What about, but when you ride the highs, like the 97 grand final, how did you guys celebrate that as the parents? Were you back at the Leagues Club with these guys or?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, we stayed at your mum and dad's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was a daytime game.
That's right, at the Sydney Football
Yeah,
Stadium.
so we got home pretty.
Oh, well, it was
To that-
unbelievable. We just thought we'll go back to the club and meet everybody. When we got back there, we couldn't get in.
100,000 people.
So they couldn't let us in. We got to the door and they just said, we can't open the doors, can't let you in. So we were standing with Chief's mum and dad, Harold and Judy. And then Harold said, look, there's people going in. They must be going into the kitchen. Come on, let's follow them. So we did. We followed them in, and that's how we got into the function.
It was pandemonium. Remember, like, our bus went in and people climbing the sycamore trees, jumping on the bus and trying to kick their way in. The whole city was in this frenzy.
Yeah,
It was
unbelievable. Even driving back, we just couldn't believe all the people on the side of the road.
All the overpasses.
Yeah, the roundabouts. People were having barbecues and that on the roundabouts.
Did you just drink did you just party as hard as these boys did?
5 days.
You went for 5 days?
That didn't work for 5 days.
Yeah, because to remember, because at the time, like the BHP shut down and all the mines were on strike.
That's right.
Yeah.
Dad, you manned the picket lines.
Yeah, I did.
And our bus driver who used to buy them, remember that day, the bus driver, when he was trying to bring the scabs in?
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah. So what happened? The miners were on strike.
Yeah.
And they brought the scabs in. We found out later they're guys from the army, which they probably didn't want to do it, but they brought them because they could drive machinery. So anyway, I was on the picket line, and a good mate of mine who's not with us now, Mick Ryan, he was part Aboriginal bloke, but I loved the fight, loved the blue. Anyway, what happened? The scabs were on the bus, and the bus pulls up. So Mick opens the door where you throw all the luggage, so the bus couldn't get through the gate. So the driver gets off and said to Mick, don't do that again. Put the door. Mick jumped on the bus and locked the door so the driver couldn't get back in. So he's in there with the scabs, and there's about 50 of them in there, and he's telling them what he thinks of them. Bravest thing I've ever seen. And they never said a word. The blokes never said a word. But anyway, bloke, he was in there half an hour, easy half an hour. Anyway, he finished up, opened the door, let the driver on. Yeah. So,
remember, wasn't the driver our bus driver? With the Knights, was that another time? You jumped on the bus and was going to job him, and he says, "Oh no, Gary," and it was our bus driver.
Knights bus driver.
Yeah, I don't remember that.
I plead the fifth on that. Wasn't there a I remember you telling me a story when I was up there not long ago about you must have been doing some work at a mine or maybe a steel factory when you were about 19.
Yeah.
And you
Araba.
Yeah,
we were first married. We had no money. So I got offered a job. I was working for Macaulay Brothers at Curry, and they were building an asbestos smelter up at Barraba. And I got an opportunity to go up there and work, and I had to sign a contract to go, and I had to stay 9 months. I lasted 3 weeks, and I come home. Gail said, well, how come you come home? Because it was really good money. We were working 7 days a week, 14 hours a day. So, and everything I was getting, I was sending it home to Gail in the bank. So Gail said, what are you doing home? And I said, I missed it, Darling. I wouldn't tell her that I had a blue with the boss. The boss was a real arrogant bastard. I'll never forget it. And he used to chip you all the time. You know, don't do that, don't do this, don't do that. You know, and I know what I'm doing, mate. No, you're not. Do it my way and all this sort of stuff. So I had enough with this day. So I punched him on the chin, knocked him arse over it. And he said, well, you can go home. I didn't lose my job, thank Christ. But anyway, he sent me home.
So we had to live with Mum longer because
years later, Gail was working one Friday night and I used to take the boys over to the trots. And you wouldn't believe it. Here's this bloke at the trots. He comes over, wants to shake my hand and say hello. I said, go away, mate, I don't want to talk to you.
Tell you what, yes, lucky you did. I mean, the asbestos mines. I mean,
yeah.
You know,
I
what
think
happened
about
there
that,
was
yeah.
horrendous.
Well, what happened there, years later, I watched, what do they call it, 6:30 on Sunday night?
A current affair?
Current affairs.
Yeah.
There was a story on there about, they had one in Western Australia and they couldn't get anyone to work, so they hired Aboriginal people. And after a couple of years, kids were born with little short arms with hands on this.
Oh, from
what
the
they call
asbestos?
like thalidomide babies.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and they found there was deformities in it, so the government just shut them down straight away. And what they did, 60 Minutes went into this factory where they were milling this asbestos, and they had a paint scrape and they running it across the girders like that, and it was just like tar.
Oh.
Picking it up, and that's what was getting in the lungs. It was killing people.
Fuck.
Yeah, so it was very dangerous.
Yeah.
Very dangerous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Did going back for a second to being the parents of NRL players and even the grandparents of Jack and I, which I imagine you would have copped a lot of shit for, but did you have any incidents with people in the stadiums or people sort of putting shit on the boys when you were growing up?
Remember
Like when they were growing up?
Yeah.
me and you had a stink after full time at that
Yeah,
point?
Yeah.
It's St George.
Yeah.
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 And was
He was in a corporate box.
Yeah.
So I ran up there and grabbed him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was singing out about boys being girls and all carrying on. And then Matt come out and Gaz was yelling out back at him. And Matt come out and he jumped up into the box.
Yeah.
And after that, Gary and I always had an escort to our car. I don't know if it was,
An escort?
the security.
Security.
Oh, right.
So I don't know if it was to make sure we didn't create problems
What
or
about-
someone didn't come near us.
What about that bloke from Nelson's Bay who used to play front row against you?
Yep.
He's dead now, I think. He died.
Did he?
Drug overdose, I think. Yeah. Anyway, he's causing trouble up in the club after the game.
Yeah.
So all the parents and girlfriends and mates and that used to stand out the back of the bar. The players would come out of the shed and we'd all have a drink together before we went home. So this particular bloke gets kicked out because he's playing up. So he comes down and he decides to cause a bit of trouble. So he zeroes straight on me. And he said, mate, he said, your two boys still rooting at each other and all this sort of stuff. And called them names and girls and all that sort of stuff. And I said, I've had enough of this. So I've got him by the throat and I rammed him up against the brick wall. And I'm trying to punch him, and Robbie McCormack's got hold of me by the arm. Next minute, Trish has flew in, your mum. She's got two fingers up his nose, pushing them up his nose, called him all sorts of bastards.
Because look, the Johns families had some different fights in their time, but Trish hates in a whole different way. Did you guys get like Trish initially? Did you have any good interactions with her?
Yeah.
Did you make a good? Because she can get quite fiery and aggressive at times.
We've seen
She
that.
blew up with me one night,
Why?
called me an uneducated idiot.
Which of course is true, guys.
Uneducated idiot.
The first time,
It's a bit of a family joke, actually.
the first time I brought Trish home, I'm trying to think, when was that?
Yeah. Gaz was going to work and he was having lunch
Yeah.
and he went, hey, Gail, Matt's here. He's got a Sheila with him.
Yeah, you never brought a girl home before.
I
Had
had a couple
Joey?
stay over. Remember once? Remember that time? Remember that time?
Kate.
So Nan's out, Mum and Dad and Nan and Joey, and Kate was like, me and Kate were always really, really tight.
Kate used to go and give him a cuddle every morning.
Because Kate's quite younger.
She's 10 years younger.
So there's a
So she come in the mornings, like Saturday morning, and she'd jump in and cuddle me and wake me up. So this particular night, I had a girl next to me in bed, and I'm laying there. Next minute, I feel she jump over, and I'm going, "Oh fuck, it's Kate!" So she jumps over, and then she's looked, and there's a new girl in the bed.
And then she come out to me and said, "There's a girl in there with Matt. It's Peaky's girlfriend. Matt brought her home because Peaky left her out." And I went, all right, yeah. And so I just thought I'd better tell you. So I went in. I said, Matt, get that girl up. Get her out of there. Well, she walked out. It was like the walk of shame. We're all sitting there. The poor girl.
Was there a rule of the boys can bring girls home back in the day? Like what was?
Well, it was never
that
discussed.
was the first time it ever got tested, wasn't it?
And they had double bunks, so it
Joey
would have
was
been
on,
real comfy.
He was on the top.
So he's on the top bunk.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Okay, just quick. Some of the blokes over the years, right? Because one of the things I do remember as a kid is like you blokes all playing practical jokes on each other, and there was a bloke I think he just passed, Graham Payne.
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah.
Tell us, because I remember. Yeah, you tell it, Mum.
About night, we had everyone around, and next thing the fire brigade came.
Smashed the door in.
And they were going to fine us because they said they could have been a fire and they were at our place, and someone had rung and said there was a fire at our place, and then all the boys said it was Payne. So Gaz rips into Payne, and then he left. But we never. It turned out they didn't find us, but we had to get a new door.
There was just always shenanigans.
Yeah.
Up at the Caravan Park, at home.
Yeah.
As you said, there was always always players. With Dad coaching, there was just always blokes around, like Panda, like Barry Andrews. For people that don't know, he was a legend at Cronulla. Then he at the Roosters, and then broke his arm and just went, and decided to come to Cessnock and play rugby league. And Dad coached him, but he and Dad were best mates. So Panda just get blind and then turn up at home. I remember that time, one of the boys, one of the centres, Panda said, mate, why do you keep fucking dropping the ball when I keep firing? Because he's a gun player. And the centre goes, mate, you pass the ball too hard. He goes, I fucking passed the ball. Oh, yeah, right. So he leaves the pub, comes straight over to our place. Yeah. And he gets me and Joey, and it's right in front of
right out of bed. He got him out of bed and stood him in front of this glass door. And throwing balls at him.
At full blast, from the other side of the room, just make, righto, run onto the ball as hard as you can. He just fire it and bang. Is that too hard? Nah. Fucking, yeah, no worries. And he goes back to the pub and says, mate, those two little idiots, they can catch the fucking ball.
Who was the other bloke that used to come around and play the boys' Nintendo all the time?
Terry Regan.
The great Terry Regan.
Yeah.
You ever heard Terry Regan's story?
No, I haven't.
He left us in 82, went to the Roosters first, didn't he?
He went Roosters, and he went Balmain Tigers, and then finished at the Canberra Raiders.
Yeah.
Played in the 87 grand final against. But, mate, you don't at those clubs, everyone's got Terry Regan stories. He was fucking crazy. So there was once, Laurie Daly loves to tell this story. He said, Rigo, we'd train on a Friday night. If we're playing on the Sunday, which is just about always, he said, Rigo, go to the pub. And he'd have about 14 schooners and hop in his car and drive home. So he said, mate, and he had a lawn mowing business. So he said, mate, this particular night they've trained, gone, slammed the schooners and he's driving home. And all of a sudden there's an RBT just up the road. He's going, fuck, what am I going to do? So he pulls the his car over the side of the road, pulls out the mower and the whippersnipper and everything. Anyway, just starts mowing some bloke's lawn out the front, right? This bloke comes out and goes, mate, what are you doing? And he goes, oh, mate, there's an RBT up the road. And, mate, I've just jumped up here. Mate, if you let me do this, mate, I'll mow your lawn for free. He goes, you're Terry Regan, aren't you? He goes, yeah, that's right, mate. He goes, I'm Detective Sergeant.
When you finish, you go out the back and mow the back too.
Did he let him go? Didn't get in trouble?
No, let him go. But, mate, some of the things, he lived with us for a while, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yes. Man. He rings me up every now and then. He's very passionate about rugby league.
Oh, yeah?
Very passionate. And he's always got a whinge about someone, some club or something. But he's good. He's going good. We got invited to his wedding. He married Kylie Gaverlock, a horse trainer from from.
But remember some of the
Central
stuff.
Coast.
Remember, like you found a bag of pot, things like that in the house because he was a standover man for the Trimbolis,
Yeah.
a notorious crime,
Come from the
Italian crime
Riverina.
gang down in Griffith, and he was a standover man there.
Yeah, right.
So he just caught wind of him, and then he came up and played for Cessnock. Geez, there were some characters in those sides.
He left in '82. Jimmy Walsh come from Gloucester in '83, didn't he?
Yeah.
So Jimmy took over Terry Regan's flat. So before Rigo left, he pushed the bed aside and shit on the carpet. Then he pulled the bed back. So Jimmy and Vicky moved into the unit, and Vicky used to say to go, "Gosh, there's a bad smell in that unit. I don't know what it is." Anyway, one day she got down there to look under the bed, and there's this bloody big turd in the
Steamer. I tell you what, just and on a serious turn here a little bit, like, so Dad, you were the best junior coming through at Curry, and Curry's produced most rugby league and nationals of any town and city in Australia. It's produced that many. It's unbelievable.
16, I think.
Yeah, your next door neighbour was Johnny Sattler. He's
Not the next to neighbour. He used to live over the back.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
Johnny.
Johnny Sattler and
Gary Sullivan, Billy Hamilton,
all those blokes,
Jeff
mate,
Masterman.
incredible
Noel
players. But mate, when Dad went to Cessnock because Curry signed Johnny Raper, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, so the immortal Johnny Raper, he went to Curry, so Dad went to Cessnock when he was young. But I'm telling you now, mate, when Cessnock played Curry, mate, you can go to all heavy derbies all around the world, Liverpool, Everton, everything. Nothing would have been more violent in the crowd and the games than those matches.
Continual
Mate,
fights on the hill.
Really?
Mate, the
Continual
whole,
fight.
mate, sometimes just to bring in the right squad. Remember that time at Cessnock? The whole hill was just like a riot, like an all-in brawl.
Yeah.
Is it still like that? Is it still?
No.
No, it's lost.
They don't get the crowd as they used to get.
But mate, I remember being a kid. It was terrifying.
Yeah.
I went to Cessnock in '73, the year after they won the premiership in '72, and they matched Cessnock and Maitland played the grand final in '72. So they opened the season at Cessnock. So Cessnock played Maitland, and the football ground was an oval because they used to play cricket there in the summer. There was that many people there that they had to get the kids and put them between the sideline and the fence so the kids could see. We couldn't run on the ground. We had to walk and step over the kids to get on the playing field. There was that many people there.
Wow.
And I remember, I think it was about 20 cents to get in for an adult, nothing for kids. And I heard someone say after the game to Donny Schofield, so what was the gate takers today? He said, I think it was $5,000. That's how many people were there.
Jeez.
They used to jam them in, yeah.
Is that Gail? Did you hate watching Gary play? Because that's from a different era. That's as violent as a sport gets.
No, it didn't worry me.
Right.
It worried me more watching the boys play.
I was going to ask you that. Like? You obviously you had
Yeah.
your partner. You got this. You got your sons.
But I tell you, look, but it would be when we go to Curry and play Cessnock versus Curry. I'm telling you now, mate. The crowd would find me and Joey when we were young boys. Mate, it'd be full-grown adults punch the shit out of us. I'd go over, to mum, and sometimes women. When I was Sandboy, spat on me one day. Like the level of rivalry between those two towns was just insane.
Well, there was even people would get up like 7 o'clock in the morning, go down to the ground and park tabletop trucks outside so they could stand on the trucks because they knew
Look
they
over
probably
the
wouldn't
fence.
get in.
Yeah, right.
And watch it over the fence.
Oh, mate, it was unbelievable. And Dad's the size that Dad coached, they'd start the season all the time and play one of the big Sydney sides.
Yeah.
So one year, Balmain, mate, Blocker Roach still says, he goes, mate, I'll never forget we played your dad's side. He said, I was a young bloke and I'm up against a bloke called Willie Tarry. Willie Tarry is a North Queenslander that Dad signed to come down. And he said, Blocker's standing there, fucking Blocker can fight. And Blocker went, I'm going to teach you a lesson today, old man. And he said, Willie Tarry, as he about to pack it, held me off and just went bang. He said, Matty, hit me that hard. He said, I literally shit my pants. He said he hit me that hard. But Balmain beat Cessnock that 13-9.
Yeah.
Then the next year they played Newtown. Newtown that year made the grand final. And I think Newtown beat you 6-2 or something.
Yeah.
So, mate, it was top-class football.
Yeah.
But violent beyond belief. Yeah.
Very violent. I remember when I first started playing grade, all the old blokes used to say, you've got to get your arm up. Because I used to get knocked out a fair bit. So you'd run into the ruck with the ball in there and you'd have an arm cocked up like that so you wouldn't cop a stiff arm. That's how, like, it wasn't a penalty then. Blokes, they'd knock you out.
How do you see the modern game now then? Because you've lived through basically 3 or 4 different generations of rugby league.
I don't like it, Kurt.
You don't like the modern game?
No, I don't.
Is
I
it
don't like it at all. No.
not
There's
violent?
there's no contest anymore for the ball.
Mm.
So they can't kick the ball in the ruck.
Yep.
The hookers, the scrums are a waste of time. They might as well just have a bunny scratch between 2 blokes. Get down, put their heads together and throw the ball in the middle, so you can rake it back to first.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it's just, I don't think, it's tough, don't get me wrong, but and there's a big gap between 8 and the bottom teams. You know, you can nearly pick the top 8 every year because just who they buy and what they've got. It's the same as the women's game.
Yeah.
The women's game, you'll forget about it. Yeah, It's going to be Roosters and Brisbane.
Yeah.
How they let Jesse Southwell go to Brisbane, I don't know. I don't know why Newcastle let
They're
it
going to
go.
have to level that out. It's just, that's 2 sides.
It's too unfair.
Hey, guys, just to finish, I'll say this: like when we talk about, the different eras, to let people know, this is going to sound direct. When you first started playing at Cessnock, you blokes, the day of the game, we used to meet at the pub. Is that right? And have a few schooners.
They did. The Colin and Gordon Bradley, the twin boys.
Yep.
They grew up with me in Curry. They used to go down to Wentworth and they'd have 4 middies before they played.
The day of the game.
The day of the game. And Cole said to me one day, "You come down to the pub, Gaz." I said, "What for?" He said, "Have a beer." I said, "No, I'm not having a beer before I play. I wouldn't have one the night before."
Oh, you didn't do that?
No.
No.
Jesus, no. No, I couldn't have played. But the old days, when I first started playing grade, they used to drink wine. They'd have sherry in the shed or musket. And all the forwards used to share a bottle around and they knocked the bottle off between the 6 of them.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
What was the theory behind that? Why wine? Like, is that
So you used to make you clear your lungs so you could breathe better.
That's
Right.
And what about the coal mines, Gaz? Just quickly, working down there, I remember Gaz used to say to me, "What do you want to do with your life?" I said, "I'll be a coal miner." He said, "I'll fix you." He took me down there and I went, "Fucking hell." Like blokes used to drink down there, down the mines?
No, not down the mines.
Yeah.
No, but they used to drink before. Like when I was working afternoon shift, a lot of blokes used to play golf for Friday.
Yep.
So then they'd have half a dozen schooners, and it wasn't the place to go half pissed to, because you had to be aware of what was going on around you all the time.
Yeah.
A lot of tragedy, and have I got time to tell them about the shaft?
Yeah.
When we got caught in the shaft.
Yeah, go on.
This story. What happened? It was a Friday night. We were working swing shift, so we started at 6 at night. Finished at 2 in the morning, but we used to work right through to Saturday and do a double shift. So this night we're all prepared for the double shift. Anyway, it been raining about 48 hours and we had 3 big dams at the mine, which just used to pump the water out of the dams and it'd go up the top and it'd filter down to the second one, filter down to the third, and then they'd pump it back down the pit and we'd use it again to clear all the dust. Used to hose it down and all that sort of stuff. So we used a lot of water. Anyway, what happened, the top dam burst and all the water from the 3 dams come down the hill. And where we used to get in the cage to go down the mine, which was 1,800 feet, the water, it was the lowest point on the property. So the water was just going down like a big drain. So the pit flooded and we were in by. And we were sort of about 100 metres higher than where the shaft stopped at the bottom. So we got word we had to evacuate, and that was everybody. So we got the pit bottom. By that stage, the water was up to our waist. The cage was waiting for us, and the manager was there, the under manager was there, the bloke in charge, everybody that day. He was there and he had a sheet of paper, call out your name, jump in. He made sure it never left anyone behind. So we all get in the shaft. It was overloaded because it would only hold about maybe 30 people, if I remember correctly. We probably had twice as many blokes in there. So They said, right over, shut the gates, let's go. So they rang the bells 3 times. That means the winch driver could hear the 3 bells, so we were right to go clear. We started going up, we got up 900 feet and the power went off. The winch house got flooded and we're suspended in the air. And I think we were in there 9 hours. Anyway, what happened? They finished up, they lowered a walkie-talkie down on a wire rope down to us. And the under manager took charge. He got on and they said, what's happened is the water's gone over the transformer and it's flooded. We've rang the energy company to come out, bring a transformer out. We've got to try and get this out. We're going to hook the new transformer up and we'll winch this out. So they took hours. But anyway, it didn't matter. We're there for 9 anyway. So anyway, they hooked the power up and they lowered the thing back down again. They said, righto, everyone braced themselves. We're right to go. So they turned the power on and the brakes wouldn't work. And we started to go. We dropped about 100 foot and they slammed the emergency brakes on and we were bobbing up and down like that. And it was that scary. If the rope would break, we were all dead. Anyway, they lowered it down and they said, we've got to get another one. So they had to bring another thing. They didn't have enough power in that generator to pull us all out. It was too heavy. The cage was too heavy. So they hooked another one up. They lowered the speaker down again and they said, righto, we're going to try again. So sure enough, we got it, but we're only creeping like that. The whole thing was vibrating. Blokes were crying. Like when we got out, blokes actually never ever come back to work.
Really?
It was that scary.
Did you go back?
Yeah, I did, yeah. But anyway, pretty emotional stuff, this. So anyway, we got to the surface. They have these steel feet. They lift the cage up above the level of the ground. These steel feet come out and they sit the cage on it. Then they open the gates and let you out. So what happened? On the gate side, we get out. Those feet didn't come out. There was something wrong. The back ones come out and they sat the cage down and the weight come off the rope and we tipped like that, tipped sideways. And it's jammed, so we couldn't get the gates open. We couldn't get the men out. Blokes were screaming, yelling, and they said, stay in, don't try and get out, stay in the cage. So they got everybody, they dragged blokes back off. They were trying to climb over the gate, dragged blokes back in, and they lifted it up and they got a hammer and they belted into these steel feet and they finished up, they come in and sat the cage down, opened the gates and we all got out.
Oh.
So the mine manager was there, the police were there, the fire brigade, rescue, the mines rescue were there. Everyone, the hundreds of people support this stuff. And that was it. But anyway, they rang home, didn't they? Yeah. They rang all the blokes' parents and informed them what was going on and told them what the circumstances was. Very emotional day, yeah.
Oh. I remember Mum you woke us up in the middle of the night, didn't you?
Yeah.
You said it's looking pretty bad. Don't know if Dad's going to...
Yeah, get out of it.
Wow.
Well, I'll tell you what, after that, I think we need a drink, Gaz.
I need a drink. Yeah.
Let's give Uncle Herby a call.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for coming on. It's been, mate. We've been wanting to get you on for ages.
Very good.
I tell you what, we could get you. We could tell stories for hours with you.
We could do a part 2 later on,
mate. Part 3, part 4. We'll see how long we're all kicking for.
I had another one for you, but we don't have time. It's a quick one.
Write it down for next time.
We've got a quick one.
Well, yeah, go on. Go on. Let's kick it.
Just a quick one.
Right.
Yeah, don't worry about Jack.
When I was a junior at Curry, we used to play. They never had many players for the team. They're lucky to get us a 3rd grade side, and they'd be always short for the reserve grade. So they used to bring under 18s up. We were allowed to play 5 games through the year of reserve grade. So me and my good mate Rachy, he was playing in the centre and I was playing lock. And we played South Newcastle. We had a bloke named Ernie O'Brien, and from Curry. He was an old front rower, tough as nails, old bloke. So we're playing against South. They brought this kid down from Narrabri, and he was about 6'5", this kid, big bloke, hard to handle. And Ernie was into me. And he said, Gaz, get into this bloke. Knock him ass over it. And I was doing my best, and I couldn't handle him. You know, he's British big cowboy sort of a bloke. So we get in the sheds at half time, Ernie said, don't you worry about him, I'll sort him out the second half. Right over Ernie. So Ernie's lined him up and he's gone whack-a and belted him. They're both on the ground and Ernie's sitting there. Kenny Bow, his referee, said, come on Ernie, get up. And he said, I can't. He said, why not? He said, I've shit myself. He said, are you kidding me? He said, no. He said, see you out for a bucket, a sponge and another pair of shorts. So Pat Yates was the trainer. He come running out, what's wrong with him? He said, I need some new shorts, I'll shit myself. So they bring the shorts out, give him the bucket of water, and all the two teams were all stood around him so the crowd couldn't see. We're pissing ourselves laughing.
Oh, that's funny.
So anyway, they wash him up against goals. Kenny Bow gives the South team a penalty for Kazerni wouldn't get up. Next minute we hear this roar of laughter from the hill. Pat's over there and he's got the shorts up, showing the crowd all the shit over the back of the shorts.
All the time.
The good old days.
Shout out to
Good old days.
All right, let's go enjoy ourselves.
Yes.